Good morning and welcome to the instructional handover video for this Chausson 644 Titanium Premium Edition. It's a 2022 model and we're going to walk you around the outside first and then we'll move on inside. So it's based on a Ford Transit on the 170 brake horse automatic. Starting from the front, so the mirrors manually fold in, but then we'll electrically operate the top mirror. The bottom one will manually adjust by pushing it up, down, left and right to the desired setting that you want. Behind the driver's door we've got your habitation door. This is central locking as well, and on here we have a blind, we have a bin, and we have a full door fly screen, just like so. To the left we've got an awning light which turns on from the control panel, and this model is fitted with the Thule awning, to which we'll send you a separate video of how to use the awning. Below the window in the kitchen we've got the external barbecue point, which is standard on the Premium Edition, and then behind that we've got the fridge vents, just one at the top, one at the bottom, just there. In front of the locker door you'll see that there's a little sticker here, and this relates to the handle underneath, which drains the wastewater that comes out of the tank just below the bottom of the vehicle there. So pull the handle towards you and it'll empty, push it in and it will close, and the little stickers to remind you that this is the wastewater. The vehicles are fitted with alloy wheels, and within your pack you will get the locking wheel nut key supplied to you. The rear locker door has a retainer, so just push that and it just retains the door in place there. To open the door, so these are a new style locking and they're double lock, so open, open, release, and then your door will be in place just like so. The garage area, you have a locker on either side, so an opening hatch. In here you'll see that we've got your awning pole, your ladders, carpets for the habitation, cab carpets, silver screens, which are supplied external silver screens. We've got a sliding door which opens and shuts. We've got a mains cable, a mains 13 amp socket and a 12 volt socket, and we've got a light switch just on there. The bed lifts up as well, so you can gain access, and I'll come to that later in the video. In this area we've also got a mounting for a bike rack and a high up rear view mirror in the little frame here, which will just allow you then to see when you are reversing what is behind you. On the opposite side, looking from the passenger side, you'll see we've got a tyre inflation kit and your solution. We've got your main pack with everything in there, handbooks, manuals, you get a fire extinguisher, and you also get a mains cable from new supplied with the vehicle, and a towing eye, which is just the implement here. Here you will find your drain valve for the boiler. So in the up position there, it will drain all the water out of the boiler outside the vehicle. When you want to use it, you just flick it down, either that way or that way, it doesn't really matter, and that will allow the boiler to fill up with water. So across, as you're looking at it there, will allow the system to fill up, flick it up, and that will empty the hot water system for you. Now, behind the locker door itself, you will find that there is your external hose. So this is supplied to it. Plug it in, put your pump on, and then just press the little lever, and that will work the external shower hose. Here is where you will fill up your fresh water. So use the key that's supplied to release the lock on the cap. Just use a normal hose pipe to fill that up. And above that is your trimmer vent. Now you'll need to remove this vent, so push down on the top here, and at the same time lift up the bottom, and that will take the cover off. You'll need to take the cover off if you're using the water heater on gas. On electric you can leave it on, but on gas you'll need to make sure that it gives a good flow out of there. So shower point, water filler point, trimmer, water heater vent. You'll also see there's a sticker underneath. Now if you forget this, it'll be quite easy, because the minute that you put water in there, it will drain out of underneath the vehicle. So we are now fitting little drain stoppers, you'll just see here. So you turn the tap, the blue tap, to the left, and that will stop the water from running out of the vehicle. In the vertical position, it will drain the water out. If you forget this, then simply water will drain out of there the minute you put water into the fitting above, and you'll be getting wet feet and no water filling up the tank. So make sure that's closed. This edition is an edition that Emm-Bee have put on. It's not a standard
Chausson fit. So it is just a push fitting with a valve that are available if you haven't bought the vehicle from us, from any sort of main street plumber supplier or hardware store. Moving further forward, you've got your Thetford cassette. Now, as you see here, it's locked in place. So lift it up, slide it out, and you will see that at the top there's a little orange circle. You need to press this because it releases the vacuum out of the unit. When you're emptying it, to empty it, you simply turn this unit around, unscrew the cap, lift it up over the waste disposal point, and that will empty it. You've also got a handle, and you've got wheels to wheel it to and from the waste disposal point. When it is empty, turn it back in, slide it back in, and just make sure that that is seated over that little lip there, and that will stop the toilet moving it and make sure it's in the place for you to be able to use it when you come inside. Now, you can only remove this with the valve inside in the correct position, and I'll move on to that when we come inside the vehicle itself. Again, it locks from the same key that locks all the external lockers. Beside of that, you've got your mains plug-in point. Obviously, it'll only go in one way, and to release it, you must just push down that little fitting here and then pull the cable at the same time. In front of that, this is where you'll find your main electrical locker area. So we've got your main RCD breakers to here. The main one on here is to the left hand side, so this little button here, and this is your test button. So if you plugged into mains like we are, it should flick down like so. If you do that and it doesn't flick down, then there's obviously a power problem with what you plugged into or the mains cable that you're using. If you flick it down like that, then there's everything getting to the vehicle is present and correct. It could be a fuse that's not working, and the fuses are found to the right in there, nicely labelled for you as well. We've also got some little instructions on the door that tell you how to test and use the appliance that I've just mentioned if you do forget. Just push it in place and it locks in place there. Forward again of that, we've got your gas locker area. So this will either take a 6 kilogram or up to an 11 kilogram UK bottles. You are supplied with the pigtail to fit a propane bottle, and that is your regulator just on there. Again, just locks with the normal key. Forward of that, we then come onto the cab area. And under these two areas here is where you will find your AdBlue at the bottom and your diesel fill at the top. Simply just close them, and when you close the actual habitation door or the driver's door itself, it will lock them for you, so there's no need to be locking and opening up them areas. Underneath the seat itself is where you will find the main leisure battery, so it's located underneath that seat. The driver's seat is where you will find the engine battery. The vehicle itself is fitted with Remy's cab blinds on the side and also on the front. The front ones and the side ones just pinch together and then gently pull across, and then gently back, helping it along to put it in place. So it is a paper cassette, so just be careful with that, but do remember that you have got the external blinds which go on the outside of the vehicle should you want them. To get underneath the bonnet, you'll need to gain access for the keys here. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to firstly turn it left, which will release it to the first stage, and then right, which will allow you to open up the bonnet. Once opened up, it's quite accessible and easy to find. So here is where you find your positive point under the positive cap. The negative point is labelled here, and you'll find that just located just down here, the little anchor point. We've got then oil filler point and dipstick just down there, and we've got a screen wash clearly marked just on there. When you've finished whatever you're doing under the engine, just release the stay and close the bonnet gently. The other thing to remember is take your keys out of there, otherwise you'll be wandering around wondering where your keys have gone. So that's the outside done. Now let's move on inside and go through the controls. So the main controls on the Chausson 644 can be found to, just step back, as you're looking at the vehicle, the right hand side of the door. So if I start from the beginning, we've got your main power button off and on. So this needs to be on all the time for the items to work with inside the vehicle. The next one along is the light button. So this turns the lights on, but it also turns the 12 volt on. So without this, the likes of your pump, your toilet won't work,
the beds won't operate. You do need to have this in place for them to function your 12 volts. So crucial for them first two to be active and on. The next button along, as it shows, is the pump. So press that on and you'll hear the pump kick in. Turn it off if you don't want the pump running. And when the pump has built up to pressure, it will automatically sit down and turn off anyway. The next one along is your awning light. So that's your exterior light button. At the bottom, we press and hold that. We've got your habitation battery. So it gives you an indication to what the battery level is there. Next one along is your vehicle battery. The third one along is your water. So this is fresh water. Indicates just here, and it will give you a level if there's anything in it. Your wastewater will come up and indicate here when it's full, but it's the same capacity as the fresh water. The fourth button on the bottom is the brightness button. So it will brighten or dim the actual control panel itself. So again, in an evening, say you didn't want these lights showing because you need to leave them on, just turn down the brightness by pressing and holding that, and it will dim it back down so it's not as prominent in an evening to disrupt your sleeping patterns. If you want it then back on again, when you wake up, just press it and it will become bright and you'll be able to see it again. Above the unit, you'll see there's an extra couple of light switches, and there is a thermostat for the diesel heating system. So the diesel heating system can be found just in the middle. Press the unit on and it will wake itself up. You can have it on a recirculate option, or you can have it on a heating option. To select the heating option, press the button till you get it to this level here, and you will be able to then go on to the heating option. So let's do it for you. So we've got a timer option here. If we want to press backwards, then we'll just select the button again and it will go back onto the next option. So when we're on here, we can scroll through the menu. So we can go to timer, we can go to heating, we can go to ventilation, or we can go to settings. So on the heating side of it, turn the dial to the heater side. This is on ventilation at the minute, so if you don't want to ventilate it, turn it back. Select it again. That will give you maximum ventilation and you'll see it light up blue. If you're then wanting for it to be on the heating side of it, we'll then select the heater side. You can either select sort of 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt. This is sort of like low, medium or high. Yeah, so if we select the medium, we can then turn the temperature up by using the dial, and this will select the temperature, and then you'll see the light go green. So this will run up to temperature, and on the continuous setting, which you will find just here, this figure of 8 if it's continue, that'll get the vehicle up to temperature, to whatever temperature you set it to, and maintain that temperature there using the thermostat here. There is a certain degree of tolerance, so you'll have to let it get up to temperature for it to drop back down again, and vice versa the other way. On a hot day like today, you could use the back arrow and go onto the ventilation and just ventilate it through on maximum, and it will just circulate the air at the temperature that it is around the vehicle, and it will go blue. There is a handbook to give you more options on the settings and the error codes, but get the fundamentals right of either the ventilation or the heating. And when you want to then turn off the unit, if you go back to the white button, after a period of time, which again you can change, it will just sit down and turn off. So that's the diesel heating, which allow you to heat the vehicle and ventilate the vehicle. The hot water can be found just at the back of the vehicle, low down here. And there are two separate options for this. So we have two controllers. We have an electric one on this side, so it says EL, and a gas one on this way. It's a three-way switch. In the middle position, it is off on both electric and on gas. If you want to use it on 1 kilowatt electric, then you'll press it up. If you want to use it on 2 kilowatt electric, you'll press it down. And this is to heat your water, don't forget. On the boiler side of it, you've got a 50, a 0 and a 70. 50 degrees when you flick the switch up. Middle position is off, and then 70 degrees water temperature when you want it down. Please make sure that you put water in the system before you start turning these elements on either gas or electric, and make sure, obviously, if you're on gas, the gas bottle's turned on and that you have removed that cover on the outside of the vehicle. And they are located just lower down, just there for you. Staying on the appliances, we've got your Dometic Fridge. Turn the unit on, press and hold that button and it will light up. So you've 4 main elements on here. You've got an element which is the mode element for mains electric, automatic function, vehicle battery. Now this will only work when the engine is running. So please bear that in mind, and that's why it's chirping at the minute, because we haven't got the engine running. Or we've got gas. Again, gas needs to have the gas bottle turned on for this to work. Most people will just use it in the automatic function. And as you'll see there, because we're hooked up to mains, it will select it for you. If you want to turn the temperature down, then from the minimum to maximum as it tells you, just change it by putting that button, which is a little thermostat. And inside we've got a little lock button to the top and a lock button to the bottom, which you'll need to release the door. When the power's turned on, it will light up nice and bright. And we've got your opening handle just there for your freezer. Just clicks back in place. And then a large fridge compartment. On your fridge door, you can buy additional pockets for these, but this is how it comes from the factory. And then to turn the unit off, just press and hold that button, and then your light will go off. Close your door, and then you can just lock it in place there, and lock it in place at the bottom. Cooker, you've got the Thetford Triplux gas and electric hobs, so electric being to the left and 2 gas on the right. We've also got the oven and grill functions, grill to the right, oven to the left, and an igniter to do all the gas ones just there. Forward of that, we've got your tap. So they are marked on the top here, hot and cold. So the first thing you need to do is, once you've filled up your fresh water, you want to pull it through your water boiler. And to recap, you'll do that little yellow valve in the garage area to stop the water heater from emptying. Put your pump on, turn your tap up to hot and pull it through. Now you are advisable to do it both here and on the bathroom to get rid of any air inside the vehicle. Once you've got a steady stream of water from there, you can turn that off. The pump will sit down, and then you can go to your control panel to select the option that you want. We've also, in the kitchen area, got a little extension piece just underneath, and the little frame goes down and then magnetizes just on there. Also in here, we've got the push buttons to gain access to the storage areas. So just like so, make sure that they're pushed in for traveling. And we've got your utensil drawer just there. Above it, we've got a twin USB charging point, a main socket, and the operation for the bed, which I'll come on to later in the video. Below the oven and grill, we've got 2 more locker areas. So this one that comes down here, and another drawer which is just located there. Again, make sure that they're all closed off before travelling. And we've also got a locker area just underneath here, which again, if you press the button, the drawer will come down, and this is where you will find your isolation points for turning off the various appliances. As you see at the minute, it's in the usable working position. There is a little diagram to the right hand side just to give you extra guidance. So towards the back of the vehicle, we've got a lift up bed. So the bed lifts up to give you access. We've got a wardrobe area here with the rail. So again, you can see from the top. On this side, we've got a storage compartment at the top. And this is where your water boiler is. So please be careful storing items just there. We've got a light up here, which has USB charging points into. Yeah. And then we've got a large drawer here. Again, making sure that we close these. And we've got the door that slides off to contain the garage. To pull the bed down, it's just on gas struts, so just pull it down there. We've also got a curtain to secure off that area, and some little hooks here to hang up coats, belongings, items through the day. The ladders themselves are housed in here and simply just pull all the way out and angle down just on the floor to give you access up onto that rear area. So up in the rear area here, you'll see that the light turns on using the little square button just at the bottom of the light. So just here, turns it on and off, and the USB points go in the underneath side of it there. We've got an opening roof light. Now on the Chausson, they always utilise the same opening roof lights.
you'll see there's a little lock here, and then they have got a fly screen and a blind just on there, and they open by twisting the little lever just there. In this area there are provisions for another TV if you wish, and the sockets, mains cables, 12-volt cables are just there. We've also got storage in this area. To gain access to them, you just pinch that little lever there. So pinch it and that will gain access to it, and you'll have access across the whole back of it, and then a little shelving area here for your belongings. Forward of that, we've got the TV bracket. This slides out by just pushing that little button there. Push it towards the front of the vehicle and it will slide out. We've got another socket, both 12-volt and mains up there, and we've got a little storage area here which has another 12-volt socket, and this is where you will find your regulator, solar regulator charger controller for the solar panel that also comes as standard with this edition. That will slide out all the way, and we'll go around by releasing that little pin if you do want to watch it in bedroom area separate of the living area. When you finish using your ladders, slide them up and then gently push them back in place like so. There's a light switch here which turns off the main lights here, and then another one which will also turn off the light lower down on the vehicle. The lights in the bathroom areas on the Chaussons generally always located a little black rocker switch to the side. So that is the light for the shower and the washroom area. We've got an opening window that has a fly screen like all the other windows and the blinds. It's frosted. To open it, press the buttons in, press the button in, and then gently open it up and it will stay out. To get it all the way back, just push it past the lever and then swing it back in, just like so. Toothbrush holder and soap holder comes with the vehicle, and we've got storage in the cupboard above and a coat hook just there. So at the beginning of the vehicle I mentioned about the toilet and the valve. So here is the blade valve for the toilet. So if you lift the toilet up, you'll see inside that there is a little blade valve in there. When I operate this valve to the front of the vehicle, it will open the blade. To the back, it will close it. So when you're using the toilet, open it up. When you've finished, close it using that. So open, close, and it must be in the closed position for you to be able to remove the toilet cassette out of there. Behind the toilet, you will see that the blue button here, the blue button is the flush, and the indicator here tells us when the toilet is full. To the left of that, we've got another storage unit, and then we've got our shower area. So when you're moving in transit, they'll just velcro onto either side. When you're using it as a shower, just release the two straps, push it towards you from the inside, and then that will give you a large shower area, which again you have your mixer tap, shower hose, and we've got an opening window with the little winder, the locking pin, fly screen and blind. We've also got a towel hook which just pulls down, just like so. Again, remember just to hook them in place before you then set off on your travels. And then that's the bathroom area done. The roof light above the kitchen area, you have a blind and a fly screen, and this opens using the handle just here that you just twist, and then that will open and operate the opening roof light. Please make sure that this is down when you're traveling and don't turn it too far, otherwise you'll break the handle. Just gently does it, guys. So onto the front area. This one is fitted with 5 seat belts as standard, and we have the 5th one there that is rear facing with a lap seat belt. You use the base cushion, and then this panel just slots into the little grooves just here that marry up with the grooves on the back of the cushion. So that's the 5th one. Then we've got the folding seats. They fold down by holding this little lever backwards and then pushing the backrest down. This one here has a little holding point for the headrest. To release the headrest, you just press them and lift them up, and the headrest comes out. Once the headrest is out, then you will just slot that in place, nice and neat in the storage area for you there. If you're not using these seats, then you can, before you slot that back in, just pull the little area here to give you an additional storage area for your storage. And obviously if you're using it as passengers, you'll need to just put that down for you to be able to have that area free for your legs. To put the seats back down, as I mentioned, you remove the cushions. They do have Isofix as standard on both of the seats, and this is the one on the driver's side. Literally just press this lever, pull the back, and then that will formulate the base of the seat, to which you'll use the cushions, which for this year are marked quite easily for you to put in place. So you'll see they're all marked nice and neatly with the angles on either side. So, and then chamfered edge, and square edge. You'll also find that there is a mains cable underneath here, and underneath this panel here is where you'll see the battery charger under a panel there. Same idea on that side. Chamfered edges give you the seat positions nice and easily. The table in this particular one will extend, will open, and will also slide around. You'll be able to move it to the desired position that you want it to do. When you want the table to drop, you need to press this button. So lift up the lever at the same time as pushing the table down. It will either be in the up position like it is, or in the down position like so. So either up or down. To release it back up, you just lift the lever and that table will come back up. Just like so. So nice and easy on that. Underneath the cupboards, we've got storage. Again, they can be accessed by just pressing the little paddles, and the same on this side, just here. In the front of the vehicle, we've got storage areas all around. Safety nets for the front bed area, drop down bed. And then this location is where your key will go to operate the bed. It's the safety feature. The key is supplied with the vehicle, and it just fits nice and neatly into this bottom section here, and just turn it on, turn it across. That will activate the bed. Behind here is where you will find the access point for your winding down the bed manually as well. So that's where that's located. The front window has the blind, and if you click together has a fly screen. That is fitted. It is an opening window as well, this. So you can open the window. You'll need to press down the little buttons, like so. So there's a few on this one. And then you'll be able to lift it up slowly, and that will hold the window open for you. To release it, just push it up and then down, and make sure it is locked in place before you move your onward travels. That one has 2 locking points. Just make sure it is pulled down over the furthest one. That will stop the window from moving for you. So once we've got that done, we've got some light switches just here. Turn off the little spotlights and your USB lights. Same on either side. Bit of storage on here, and we want to drop the bed down. So we do that by putting that key in. Then we come back to the little marker under here, press the button, and the bed will come down. It will stop at the lower switch, and going up it will stop either if there is excessive force, or also if you take it up to the top. So do be careful what you put on top of it. You can leave your bedding on and your pillars. If your pillars are really thick, then utilise the little storage areas at the front. The ladders, which are in the garage, just hook onto here. And we have a light switch in this corner, which will operate the light high up there. Yeah, the little safety nets go into the little loops that are fitted to here, and also to the underneath of the bed itself. So when you finish using the bed, just press the up button and the bed will go back up. Through the winter months or periods of time when you're not using it, we do advise that you just drop the bed down, let it circulate and air ventilate in there, and then it will just stop that build up of any bacteria or mold through the winter months if you're not using it. Again, if you're never going to use this drop down bed, take the plastic off. Just let the plastic, obviously the mattress just breathe. We sometimes get these back with plastic still on them. Just remove it off. We leave them on just for demonstration and purposes for cleanliness when they come back through from the factory, but just remove those please, guys. So that's the habitation side of it done. If we move on to the cab, so as you'll see, the seats spin around. Now on the forward seats, the swivel bar stays at the front. So to spin it back around, you'll need to turn the chair around, and then if you want to move it forward, you just lift up the bar to slide it forward. Now you'll have to be careful on the passenger side of the door. On the driver's side, you'll have to be careful of the steering wheel, so it will involve some sliding forward and backwards just to get it past. You may also need to just slide it past the steering wheel, which you can adjust the actual in and out rake of this. The handbrake is down here. Now this is the disengaging handbrake, so it will always stay down, and we will show you that on handover how to use it. We've got steering wheel controls, electric window switches, door locks, light controls, mirror controls, wipers, indicators, and automatic gearbox. So as I mentioned, it's on a 170 automatic gearbox, and we've got the accent unit. The accent unit as standard doesn't come with the sat-nav card. If you want the sat-nav doing, we do supply the cards, but we will send you a video of how to use it. But bear in mind that the sat-nav is not a standard feature for Chausson. We've got air conditioning, we've got passenger airbag, we've got your jack point, your auto stop, 'cause it's got auto stop option to turn it off, and we've got storage here and a phone holder if you want to put it just there. So that is the handover video for the Chausson 644 Titanium Premium Edition. When leaving the vehicle, press that button off and turn your lights off. If you're leaving it at home hooked up to mains, we'll advise you to keep that light on. Or if you want the solar panel to put charging at the storage, we tell you to put that light on, because you'll need that to put power to the battery. But other than that, if you're ready to go and you don't want to do that, turn off the lights, close the door, pop up your windows, and away you go. Now I hope you find the video informative, useful. Please feedback, comments, and like it and share it. But most importantly, we hope you enjoy your new motorhome. Thank you.